What's up, guys? It's Ken. Yeah, I said this on Discord once, and I'm gonna say it on YouTube right now. Yeah, I know I got the camera facing backwards. Big deal. I don't care at this point. So, remember that Eltrinex voice recorder that I reviewed back in August? Well, now that I think about it, and seeing as how many views it got, over 50, it wasn't as popular as my Olympus voice recorder review. Well, here's the reason why. First of all, it is not mainstream at all. It's not a mainstream recorder. This is made for the blind in mind. Yeah, a blindie recorder. I can turn this on right now and voice guide will be enabled automatically. But there's a way to turn off voice guide, and there's a way to, I kind of demonstrated that in the review. And I didn't quite call it a tutorial, nor did I want it to be a tutorial. So, in my words, I regret purchasing the Eltrinex v12 Pro digital voice recorder. Now, was it worth it for what I bought it for? Well, I like the FM radio on it, but is it really worth the $220 I paid for it? No. Is it worth the money to just have a almost fully accessible voice recorder that would end up just not being used for very much, except for the radio and maybe some music? Probably not. I would have probably, too bad AT Guys doesn't sell the micro speak anymore, because I would have gotten that, and that would have been, well, I mean, okay, that one would have been more worth it, because it would be more worth the money, because you wouldn't be spending over $200 on a voice recorder that would not see much use outside of maybe recording sessions, and I will still use it. I didn't buy it just to review it. Heck no, I didn't. I bought it for an intentional use case. And that was, I was going to do some podcasting with it because, sure, I can get a microphone and record with a computer. Maybe a computer that I used Linux on. Maybe a computer that I used Chrome OS on. But that was my main intention for the recorder, is to do podcasting. Is it good for that? Well, they say there's an argument that claims that voice recorders, their microphones are much better than smartphone microphones. But is that really true? I don't think so, because smartphones have gotten better with their microphones since that claim was made, I think. So, from a technical standpoint, voice recorders are obsolete and outdated. And that can be, the same could be said about MP3 players. Yeah, when I talked about the backward talking MP3 player, that is a very expensive product as well. That is about $300, and it's on the Braille Superstore, and that is their most expensive electronic on their site. That's a portable physical electronic. There was something that I wanted to try and get, the Wilson voice recorder, although seeing as how I just made that statement about how voice recorders are obsolete, I don't think I want to purchase any more voice recorders. That does not mean, however, that my latest voice recorder purchase will not go into the drain, because I got 2 voice recorders that I've purchased within the last 2 years. That one recorder that I mentioned about, the Olympus one, that is very popular, again, because it's mainstream. It's a mainstream voice recorder. Gone are the days when you used to have to use a voice recorder if you wanted something recorded well, like a meeting. Yes, some people probably still use voice recorders today, but it's few and far between. So, would I recommend getting a voice recorder at all? Maybe if you have a very, very good use case for it. But if not, then don't. Yeah. Did I waste $220? Now that I think about it. Not exactly, but I do regret buying it. I do. And yes, it's been about 3 months since I've purchased it. But I kind of regret that recorder purchase. Even though it is something that I've wanted for years, I think it was something that could have been avoided. But, again, there's the argument about what I said before, and I'm not going to mention it. I'm not going to mention it because I've already mentioned it like twice. So, I think it was a waste of, I kind of think it's a waste of time because the batteries for that thing didn't quite last as long, and I kind of dropped it a couple of times, which probably broke it. It's made of plastic. Like, literally. Plastic. All plastic. Versus the Olympus, which is over here. It's actually made of metal. It is a really strong metal. I mean, well, okay, I'll back off on that, but it is a voice recorder that is held up. The only thing that hasn't is the plug, which, honestly, that voice recorder was a lot more worth it than the Eltrinex, in a way. Because, I'll explain why. It actually, even though it doesn't have an FM radio, even though it doesn't have all the other stuff like a hearing aid, otherwise known as an amplifier, not a hearing aid, it's actually I thought it was actually something you can monitor recording, but no. Again, it's an amplifier. I already said that like twice already. Oh, man. But still, I just wanted to make this video and say I kind of regret that purchase. There's something else that I've wanted to purchase that is an Android-based MP3 player that I feel like I could regret if I purchase it. Now this, what I'm talking about is the Jimmy Play Pro, which is a $90 or $89.99 Android 12 MP3 player. It runs Android 12, 64 gigabytes of storage, 4 gigabytes of RAM, and it's probably the same type deal where I could buy it and it won't be worth it. I feel like some of the things that I come across are impulse buys, meaning that I'd want to get them immediately, but yeah, there are more important things I can get in life, like a battery bank if I needed to charge my phone, maybe a microphone, like a better microphone so I can, not have to rely on internal microphones on computers and stuff like that. You know, they do make microphones for phones, external microphones. You can get Bluetooth ones or ones that, I think there are ones that run with USB-C, because the iPhones now have USB-C. I am kind of happy that the iPhones have USB-C now, because it's now a thing that every device, every computer has USB-C. A majority of them, a majority of the more higher end computers do, and most if not all Android phones do. And now all iPhones have USB-C, at least in this current lineup of the 15 lineup. iPhones that do not have USB-C are still being supported. 14 lineup and earlier are still being supported all the way down to the the 10R. And I don't know why I got onto this topic, but yeah. My main point of this video is that I just regret buying that recorder. I thought it was going to be micro USB, but they freaking lied to me. They lied to me. Either that or it was mistranslated. I don't know. It is made in a different language, so I'll give them credit for at least fixing the option where it said memory and information. It said, for the longest time, memory and informations. So yeah, some things that I don't regret purchasing are the Bop It button, for one, because it's actually something you could actually do stuff with. But I think there are other devices that can, every device that you can come across, a phone, computer, tablet, all those can record, so I don't need a digital voice recorder in the first place. If you have a phone, an iPhone, iPad, Mac, or anything like that, Windows computer that runs Linux. In fact, computers that run Linux, you can actually get audio recording software or voice recorder applications for Linux that can do the same type of thing. So yeah, you don't need, if you have all that stuff already, it's common sense that people that have all this stuff don't need a voice recorder, and should have realized that from the get-go. I mean, I've had a phone for like 8 years now. iPhone 6 for I've had an iPhone 6 from 2015 to 2017. I had voice recorders from about early to mid 2015, all the way down to, I'll just get out of here. But one more thing, I'm done with recorders.